Howdy folks, it's Untitled Chapter here, and welcome back to X-Plane 11. We're going to try to sneak in another 727 flight to continue our journey that started in Duluth, Minnesota. We're just doing like 150 to 200 nautical mile jumps in this thing. I would do more and do longer, but real life time for planning and flying takes a while. I did not park this thing like this. This is how it loaded in the sim, so I did not do the triple parking job. We have the air stairs down, or the rear stairs down, because the jetway is broken. So, unusual, but when are you going to see a Pan Am 727 next to 777 anyway these days? Probably never. So this whole scenario is already kind of fantastical or fantasy, but that's okay. Looking good so far. Not running the Vulcan yet. The Vulcan's still in beta. 11.5 is in beta. I will wait until it is done because of all my third-party stuff. Although, I am more excited about it now. Previously, my understanding was if you have a high-end machine, you're not going to notice much difference. Only if you have a low-end machine would you notice the difference. However, there have been YouTubers that are testing it with their very high-end machines, and their results with Vulcan are absolutely off the charts. I think one person went from like 29 frames to 60-something frames in a super heavy area using SkyMaxx Pro, which I use myself, for example. Other people are reporting double and triple performance, even with high-end machines, and those with lower-end machines are getting even better, I guess. It seems to be your mileage will vary. We all use different settings. We all have different hardware. We all use the sim in different ways. When 11.5 is final, I will show you my settings, and we'll do a frame rate test and a stutter test. Like right now, you see a little bit of shimmy stutter. I'm still getting like 60 frames per second right now in 11.41. But you got the little stutters, those should go away, for example. So we'll do stuff like that, but not until it's final. So there's my update on 11.5. All right, back to what we're doing now. We are in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, which I have been to this airport in real life. A couple times we'll look at that airplane landing in the far background. Very nice. I have been here in real life. I told a whole story about that in the previous video of the 727. We are going to Charlotte. Why? Because one of my companies that I work for, because it's like an umbrella of companies that I work for, one of them's in Charlotte. So I'm like, hey, why not? Why not fly there? And we're using the 727-100, not the 200 Advanced. We've been using the 100 for this just because the hops are so short, and because with the current state of affairs in real life, not many people are flying. So we have a low airplane. Longest flight, though, in this little, not series, but in these, well, I guess it's kind of like a mini series, 370 nautical miles. It's our longest one we've had since we started these little trips. We are going to fly at FL280. I do have a flight plan. Look at it now. It should be on the screen. I'm inserting it. Note to self. There's our flight plan. We'll talk through it a little bit, so you can just pause and stare at it if you want to. That's how I do flight plans. Old school, on paper, and then we fly slant alpha. This video will be a little different. We're just going to take off some sightseeing, top of descent, and land. I'm not going to be with you for every VOR change, every intersection. If you are interested in that, like slant alpha flying start to finish, check out pretty much any of the 727 videos. I do that every time. This time we're not going to. We're just going to hop and fly like I would in like the 1900D with GPS. We're not going to use them. I'm just saying we're going to take off, top of descent, and land the rest of the sightseeing, if that makes sense. Looks like there's Cincinnati in the background. That's awesome. Alrighty, so that's enough introduction, I think. Let's fly up to the airplane, if I can remember how to do this. There we go. Get some sound now. Hop inside. Put my flight plan to one side, my checklist to the other. And what is going on? We need to come up here and turn on some lights. We need to turn on the logo light. We need to do our passengers and fuel and everything. So, a few first-class passengers, but otherwise, pretty quiet flight. Not many people flying around right now. For obvious reasons, if you look at the date of this video. Whoa. In fact, that row is going to be empty. Cargo? Yeah, we need some cargo. I mean, people are, bringing their stuff. All right, 1,000 nautical miles for fuel. Do not need that. It's 370, so let's put more than we need. That's almost 400, so you want at least 500, so I freak out. So let's do 676. Just because. That's how I roll. Alright, there is that. Moving along. Let's get this thing started up. We're going to turn on the battery here. There we go. Then we're going to come over to the APU. And we just have to trip it, but now we don't. Now we just start it right up. There we go. Alright, that should be done in a moment. While we're waiting, let's turn these off, which is that direction. Is that temp going to drop down for us any minute here? There we go. Field and generator to close. Confirm external power turned itself off. And it did. We're now running on APU. Let's come up here and do the beacon light now. We don't need to adjust any internal lighting, I don't think. I think we are good. Yeah, everything's fine. Kind of bright on these gauges, but we'll need it once we get up in the sky. Alright, no smoking a seatbelt. Whoops, wrong preset. That's this one. Let's hear our dings. Very awesome. Emergency lights armed. There we go. Stall warning test. We haven't heard that since I did a flight or landing test in Duluth in X-Plane 10 when this plane was brand new. Hopefully we never hear it, because once you do, it's too late. Alright, window on. Window heat, I should say. AP bleeds, confirm open, and they are. Cooling doors confirm open, and they are. Disconnect the GPU and air cart, and we should hear it wind down. Hopefully you heard that. My personal volume is turned way down because I'm not wearing headphones. I have a bit of a headache. Okay, I have a huge headache. And wearing headphones would make it worse. Alright, DC meter. ESSTR, it automatically. A lot of this stuff, we just have to do it automatically on in the newest version of this thing. Gasper fan on. Right AC pack on. Air pressure. Cruising altitude is 27,000 feet. 28,000 feet, sorry. Landing altitude, I forgot to write down. It's Charlotte. Let's say it's 400 feet. Just because I forgot. Whoa, not 1,000. Maybe it's more than 400. I don't know. We'll check it out when we get there. We know it showed up on the map. Okie dokie, flight plan. And then autopilot altitude. Why is my autopilot altitude? Note to self. Adjust the checklist. So autopilot altitude is on its own line. My checklist. Okay, here we go. Flight plan. We're gonna fly straight south to get to the Cincy VOR, Cincinnati, which is 117.3, like that. I'm gonna actually keep it in here. Are we close enough that we're gonna pick it up on 2? Okay, yeah. So which way are we facing? There's north. We're facing north-ish. So we need to fly pretty much straight south. I just want to make sure my handwritten chart is like in the right direction, because I've done that before. Well, my visual on my handwritten chart is in the wrong spot, even though the numbers are right. So yeah, due south-ish. Okay, due south-ish. That's kind of funny. All right, so Cincy VOR 117.3. We're gonna fly to the, I can't read my writing, full horn something, which is 117 even. So let's make that 117 even. That's 29 nautical miles away. And then we have more VORs from there. So let's make this 117 even so we know where the VOR is in case of the mouse getter distance. In other words, 29 miles, exactly what it's supposed to be right there. We know how far the next one is, so we know when we can pick it up. After that is 111.12. That's the hazard. I can't even read my writing. 111.20. I said that wrong. There we go. So what we do is we fly away from this one, then towards this one, and then this tells us when we get to that one, we'll put it over here. There's an extra step using both, but then I know my distances to my next one, like if there's a gap or something. And then I use this to know where the VORs closest airports are in case we get lost, because we don't have ATC. That's the big thing. In the simulator, we don't have ATC, so a lot of what we have to do, ATC would help us with, but we don't have that. So we have to wing it. Okay. So the last thing we need to do is we need to put in 144 degrees. Or once we get to the VOR, we're gonna heading bug ourselves to the VOR because we don't have ATC to get us there. And then we'll Once you get to the VOR, we're going to leave it at 144. And there actually aren't any intersections. Everything is VOR. See, this would be a good one to have you with for every VOR, but it'd be a 2-part video at 45 minutes each. It's already 11 minutes. We haven't started this thing yet, so we gotta get going. Alrighty, cruising altitude. We're gonna go right up to cruising altitude. I have another way of doing this somewhere. Let's move this over. Whoops, what did I say? 28,000. We're just gonna be cleared right up there. Again, no ATC to step us up. We're just going all the way up. Okie dokie, that's flight plan stuff for now. That's gonna get busy. That's gonna be a busy flight. Road weather is turned on. I don't think I said that. Perfect day for flying. So let's look at our weather. Where we are. What is it? There's an ATIS. So we turn the ATIS on. Why not? It'll tell us what air runway to use. ATIS is 135.3. It's 135.3. Gonna get it. There we go. What is it going to tell us? 1, 2, 3, 5 visibility, 10 temperature, altimeter 3009er.
Sky clear, temperature 2, dew point -5. Altimeter 3009.
3009er.
Runway
27. Runway 27. Okay. What is runway 2? Let's turn that off. Runway 27. Runway 27 is going to be this runway right here because 270 degrees is due west. So what do we need to do? We need to turn to the right and boom, there's our runway. Oh, nice and easy. Easy peasy. All right, we do have the rear stairs open because the jetway is nowhere near us. So that is Shift F1. Not F1, Shift F1 to close that and open that. In case you didn't know. All right, moving along on the checklist. All 8 fuel pumps. Here we go. Now we're getting serious. Whoopsie. And what's next? Turn off the AC packs. Okie dokie. All bleed valves confirm open. Yes. Unless high altitude. We're not high altitude. Set. Better pushback. Where are you? There you are. Pre-plan. Click it here because we're not going to make it all the way down there, and then hit enter.
All right, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Alrighty, let's do this thing. Let's start her up.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Alright, we should wait until they're hooked up and pushing us back to start the engines, but because I'm such a slowpoke, let's get them started now. We'll do 2, 3, 1. There's 2. Come down here. Move my stuff around, and when N2 gets to 25 or so, we'll introduce fuel. So we'll have this gauge right here. There's 20, 2, 4, 5. Introduce fuel. Bam. All right. For the interest of time, I'm going to start the other engines during an edit, and then I'll be right back. Engines are starting up, but of course we need a few pushback views, right? And there's the other side. Very cool. And there's the view from the tug. Oh yeah, you can look. Oh, there we go. It's not awesome. Won't be ride, but isn't that cool? I've never done that before. That's so cool.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
All right, we're gonna set the parking brake because he told us to, and then once they disconnect.
Yeah, we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Okay, we'll give them just a moment. We'll give them the hand signal, and then we'll get taxiing. Alright, disconnecting hand signals. Looks like we have some competition taxiing back in front of us, or getting pushed back. Might be a race to the end of that runway to get
And we're disconnected.
taken
Signal
off.
10 on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Okie dokie, you have a safe drive back to wherever you came from. Hydraulics A and B, closely generator ties. Galley power on. Where's galley power? Over here. Galley power on. Both AC packs on. Cargo heat to normal. Central power to generator. Where's that? Right here. AC meters to bus tie. They are already confirmed. There are no lights except the duct overheat, which is the bug. Confirm fuel heat off, and it is. Alright, come back over here. Anti-ice we're not going to mess with because I haven't learned how to use it yet. Pitot heat. Tobe heaters. Come back to the APU panel and trip it. And turn it off. You hear the wind down sound, that makes me nervous. Alrighty, cabin pressure switch from flight to ground to flight, I mean. Cabin temperature, we'll just keep it on auto. Gas per fan can come off. Air 2 or APU, air bleed 2 closed. Reference bugs over here. Come up here, and for takeoff, set the bugs. We are super light. Takeoff at flaps 20 at 105. Holy moly. Flaps 20 is 4 o'clock right there. Weather, I have a weather preset, system on, TCAS. That does show weather if we had any. Nothing to worry about though, so we'll just let that go. Taxi lights on, runway turn off, even though it's not dark. Sure, RTO. For brakes, start the flaps and taxi. Okie dokie. Taxi views, this one, start the flaps. There is that other airplane in front of us. You're going to get to take off first, that's okay. I didn't get my flaps down. Keep the flaps going, keep the flaps going. Auto brakes, yes. Already on. Navigation, strobe, and wing on. Confirmed flaps, landing lights on. And trim, is this one? Yeah, click on the green, trims it automatically. I guess they're waiting for us. Okay, let's get out there. One more set of flaps here. And then we're ready to go. Watch him start going when we do, that'd be hilarious. Well, thank you for waiting. Let's see, what else we got to do? We're going to set that heading bug. And then we'll maybe hand fly a little bit to get into the VOR. I would hand fly more, but with all the other stuff going on and trying to do sightseeing, that isn't a possibility. So there you go. Set that parking brake, hop inside, watch that other airplane come in behind us and hit us. That'd be hilarious. Set heading bug in case we screw up something. There we go. Which way do we actually want to go? We want to go to the left. Why is that pointing that way? Which way is it? It's to the left. Yeah, we want to go left. Or we can just go straight and catch. No, we need to go left. So we're going to use heading bug, and then we'll turn sharply to the south. IS hold at 250, because we're going to be cleared right away. Note the time on the clock and take off. Let me see what's happened to this other airplane. I'm just curious if he's behind us. Nope, he's waiting patiently. Let's take a screenshot of that. That's awesome. Alrighty, note the time on the clock in the sim is 3:37. Okie dokie. Here we go. We're going to do all the way up to 97 on N1. I still feel like we should be looking like this, sort of, but I don't know. I have adjusted my primary view. I used to be like this, and then I couldn't land because people said I was too low. Couldn't see below the glare shield. Talked to real life pilots. They said it was fine, but I still couldn't land. So now we sit like this because it's easier to land. No tail strike, that's nice. Positive rate, gear coming up, flaps coming in like crazy because we have our throttles boosted here. Keep those flaps coming up, keep an eye on the speed, keep us on flap schedule, and we are just gonna haul out of here just like this. Let's quickly look and see if that other airplane is taking off behind us. Nope, he's still sitting there. Okay, flaps are in. Let's nose down and get to that 250. And let's immediately turn to the left, nose down and get to that 250, please. And throttles we'll bring back in a moment. They're at like 96 right now. They have to come back to 92 or we will start on fire. There we go. Very simple, very smooth. We're gaining our speed. We're gaining altitude. We're going towards that VOR. So let's get our heading bug set here. Although we are locked on it, so we can just do autopilot right to the VOR. Let's straighten. There we go. There's the VOR. Boom, right over it. Perfect. All right, let's prepare. So this is going to go. Heading bug is going to go there. We're going to switch to heading while we get our VOR set up. So at 117, we're going to leave at 150 degrees. So we're going to leave at 150 like that. And then the next VOR is 112.2. After that, it's 114.6. I want to double check this off camera, but this one should be. And then we want 111.2 ready to go on that side. There we go. I'll double check in a moment. Okay, there we are. Let's switch back to nav lock. And now it's going to get us over. A little turn to the left is all it is. Just a slight left turn. When this gets up to 28,000, that will just shoot up. We'll have to watch our speed. And we change over at Mach what? Mach, hold at 0.78 Mach. We can also switch this to 2902. Totally forgot about that because we're above 18,000 feet. I normally don't fly this high. Landing gears are already off. I already set lights to disarm. I did all this stuff off camera, and auto cut is already to normal, or it's already to auto. All right, so there we have it. It's going to get us over. It's S-curving because it's slow to respond. So it's going to get us over here. And then the next intersection is really far. It's 90 plus 79. That's what will bump the yoke. That's why it's not picking up yet. But the reason for it being in here is so we know how far we are from there, which doesn't really matter too much today because we don't have intersections to calculate. Anyway, that's it. That's super abbreviated. If you have no idea what I just did, it's because I abbreviated a lot of it because I do the same thing every time. Just watch another 727 video. Okay, 30 minutes in, and we're finally getting to sightseeing. Sorry that took so long. That's just how you fly this plane. So let's do some sightseeing. I will catch you at top of descent. I have a lot of work to do here off camera, but you won't have to worry about it. I'll see you in a little bit. time to prepare for top of descent. So we're going to get down to what? I don't have my charts up. I don't know what the weather's going to be. Oh, the airport's 1,000 feet. I did write it down. It's 1,000 feet. So let's go down. I don't know. I have to look at my charts based on what runway we end up using. So let's just do 4,000 for now. And let's come down here and do the new alt select. Yeah, my frame rates are dogging. I don't like this. I'm not used to it. So we just need to bring the throttles back just above the horn. And it's going to start coming down. We want to descend at what? What's our descent? I don't have a descent speed. Okay. Let's just do 300 again. So let's do IS hold like this. And we're going to descend down to 4,000. And I'm going to use the throttles to control the descent rate. So I want to keep it around 1,000. So right now we're descending steeper than 1,000, right? So I want to introduce throttle. Come on. So that it comes up and then sits around 1,000. It'll take a while to dial it in exactly, but that's the plan. And what I'm doing is I'm looking down here at the VSI. I want to give enough throttle that it goes back up to 1,000. While IS holds us here at about 300. So now it's coming back up. Alrighty, so that's top of descent. That's all there is to it. I'm going to give a little bit more sightseeing, but I'm also going to play with these clouds to try to get some frame rates back. We need to get the destination weather as soon as we can. Landing lights at 10,000 feet. Arm the spoilers, but we're probably going to use the spoilers, so I'm not going to worry about arming them quite yet. And then that should do it. So I want to play with some frame rates and clouds and things, and you get some sightseeing. And I'll see you probably when we are getting our weather. I'm going to figure out what runway we're going to use. See you then. Alright, we have our ATIS now. I can barely read it. It says something, 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 something. Sky conditions something. Temperature 9. 3007 on the barometer. So let's make this say 3007. There's 3007. 12 miles off from next VOR. We got to do something about that quick here. So 3007. Arriving 36, 36, 36. So that's straight up. That's like north. So let's come down here and turn this off. Let's probably do the same things. Let's move that. 36, 36, 36. Okay. First of all, we have a VOR change. Let's just do that here together briefly. What are we doing? We're heading towards 114.6. So we just need to go towards the other one, which is 110. Wait a second. What? Did I miss a VOR? No, I didn't. Sorry, I did not miss a VOR. I'm just doing too many things at once. All right, so what are we doing? We're going to leave 110.8. We're heading towards 110.8 there from 114.6. So let's see here. Let's do heading bug like this. Go one towards 110.8. We're going to leave it 143 degrees. So as soon as we cross over here in 9 miles, we're going to go to 143. So let's start bringing it that way a little bit. Come down here, and this will point at our Charlotte VOR 115.0, just so we know where the VOR is. It's straight in front of us, as it should be. So now we have to figure out how to get to this airport without ATC. This is going to be interesting. We know that the Charlotte VOR is here. We know it's 37 miles away. And I slowed our descent a little bit because we were getting kind of aggressive. Although now we need to come down faster again. I'm going to pull up the chart, and then we're going to figure this approach out together without ATC. Give me a moment for a nice little edit. Alright, we're going to use the center just because we can. So first of all, let's get the ILS in there, localizer in there. That is going to be 111.7, so 111.7, there we go. So localizer is in there, and the approach is at 3 degrees. So localizer's in there. The Charlotte VOR is here. We're 29 miles away. Let's use heading bug to go straight south now to the Charlotte VOR, because again, we don't have ATC to tell us anything. The VOR is how far from the airport? The VOR is right at the airport. So we actually need to go around it. You don't want to go towards it, or else we're going to go over the airport. So how are we going to do this without ATC? I think what we're going to do is we're going to go south and keep the VOR to our left. And then we're just going to fly around the VOR. And when we're like, how many miles out? When we are 22 miles out, or maybe 15, we will we'll turn around and head towards the VOR. That's what we're going to try to do. So right now we want to keep to the right of the VOR. Let's do 180 because we know the runway is 3 degrees. So if we do 183 degrees like this, we know we're perpendicular or parallel to the runway. It'll be to our left. The VOR here, let me zoom in. We're going to go 183 degrees here because then we know we're parallel to the runway. This is the VOR. It's going to swing around, and once it's like down here and we are about 15 to 19 miles out, we'll turn around and use the localizer to land. Localizer is 3 degrees. We can set this now because we can use heading bug for the rest of it. So basically the heading bug is our ATC instruction. Okie dokie. Whoops, 003. I'm like, that doesn't look right. 003. There. This is our localizer. This is the VOR. Heading bug will be ATC. This is our distance for our arc. We're doing great. Now we got to start slowing down to 250 so we don't break the speed limit. Bring throttles back. It's going to go level to start slowing us down. We don't need spoilers. We're 17 miles out. We are shooting for 6,000 feet, by the way. That's what we're going to intercept. Well, we intercept the fix at 2,500, but we want to be at 6,000 to get in line with this thing. Okay, I think that's it. Are we high yet? We're not too high. We will probably need spoilers. It's not unusual to use spoilers in the 727. I was told you always do, and in any airplane really. It's not that unusual. This weather is being funny. Now it looks better. Are my frame rates? How are my frame rates? Frame rates aren't great, but they're better. So some other day I'll play with clouds. I'll just play with clouds someday when I'm not recording a video, because there are options now. There weren't options before. Otherwise, that's it, right? Our speed is at the speed limit. We are going to use heading bug and go parallel to the runway. In fact, the airport's right there. Do you see it? The airport's right here. So we're going to fly by the airport and do a left traffic pattern for the most part. See how that's going to work. Otherwise, we'll slow down to about 180 eventually. Otherwise, let's get everything going here. Let's do landing lights now. You know, our 12,000 feet. Landing lights are on with taxi lights. Brakes are set to max. Whoa! Brakes are set to max because I spaz and freak out. This. Spoilers are armed, even though we're probably going to need them. See, there's arming there. What do we need? Seatbelt on. It always is. Barometer correct. Landing lights correct. Auto brakes, yes. Spoilers, yes. Get speed down to 180 or so. Flaps gear. 5+ gusts. Last thing we need to do is get this out. Landing. Set the bugs. Flaps 30, which is about 5 o'clock on the dial, right there. And then we will approach above this bug. Gusts were pretty high. Things were like 19. So we're pretty much just going to come down at the second bug, get over the runway, and let it bleed off speed and land itself, because those gusts could really screw us up at the last second. So there you go. approach is ready. We should be by the airport now. Can't see it. It's there. I see it. It's right here. Boom. So center runway is this one right here, I think. Yep. So we're going to fly around. When this gets to whatever I said it was going to be, I don't know, we're pretty high. Let's go out 20 miles, I think. Then we'll level off at 6,000. We'll come back in, pick up the ILS. The fixed point is 2,500 feet. Okay, I have it in my head. Hopefully it makes sense to you. I will give you a little bit of sightseeing here, and then we're going to turn around and fly this thing in, and hopefully have a smooth landing like last time. I'll catch you in a minute. Alright, looks like we're going to hit 6 grand about 12 miles out, which is fine. We are going to go out pretty far just because we have to make a really sharp U-turn. So I'm going to keep my eye on the throttles here. And we're going to stay level. And the speed will come down. I'll use throttles to control the speed. Let's get this ready. Actually, let's wait till it's done. Then we'll get this ready at like 180. Just keep an eye on it. So there we go, that's going to hold us. IS should have turned off, and it did, so now we are free to move this. Let's go to like 180. Just keep an eye on what we want our speed to be. So, let's slow down a little bit using the throttles. When we get to about 180, we'll get our first set of flaps out. Actually, about 200 we will too. When we get to about 19 miles, 20 miles, we'll turn around. We have a very sharp U-turn to make. Let's just make sure everything is set. Localizer. That's not the right localizer, is it? Hang on. 111.7. I forgot to switch it over. See why we double check. And 3 degrees. Do we get a localizer yet? No, we kind of, yeah, we do. We get not the glide slope, but we got the localizer. Good. Alrighty. What else? That's it. Speed or altitude 6,000. Let's bring this down to 2,500 in case I let autopilot do some of the work. That's the altitude to intercept our fix. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep going out. We're almost at 19 miles now. We're going to slow down even more and try to get down to about 180 or so. Get the first set of flaps, or that'll be second set of flaps by then. We're aiming for 30 there. Gear down once we turn around, and that's it. So let's have a little bit of look outside together. Looking good. Hopefully during the sightseeing you're able to see areas of Greater Charlotte that you wanted to see. Not much to see yet because we've flown pretty far south of the area, just because we need to. Alright, back sinking, so it's time to get first set of flaps out. And I'm going to give you, I don't know, 20 seconds of sightseeing or so. Then we're going to make your U-turn because we're already farther than I want it to be. But I want to do one more bit of sightseeing. Okay, just kidding. The airplane's doing crazy stuff. We really need to fly a real plane now, or fly this plane. There's 3 degrees there. That's what we're aiming for, sort of. Hopefully we pick up the localizer again once we get closer. And we keep it at this altitude until we are how many miles for this altitude? 15.9, so 16 miles out. We can stay at this altitude. Well, second set of flaps. A little bit more throttle will keep us up here. Glide slope was just picked up, which is kind of crazy. Okay, let's go over here and do auto glide slope then. That'll get us lined up and going. As long as we intercept under the glide slope, which we will, that's the reason for the 6,000 feet right here. And then once you're within if we're within like 40 degrees of the localizer, or ILS and localizer are not the same thing. Why can I not think of the difference? Because I haven't talked about it in a while. Anyway, when we pick up the side-to-side thingy, which I think is a localizer, it should follow it as long as you're within 40 degrees. It'll pick up glide slope as long as you're under it. There we go. Do we have time to look around? I don't think so. Everything's ready to go, though. I'm just keeping an eye on our speed. Don't want to be too fast, don't want to be too slow. And we'll get gear down in a little bit. And just going to keep an eye on these gauges. We should be able to, well, we could fly to minimums just like this. But that's boring. Alright, we're lined up with the runway, but we're a little below glide slope. Because I put flaps out and it went crazy. Yeah, that glide slope thing keeps going on and off, so I don't know what's confused about it, but we're flying by hand anyway. We're using throttle to level off a little bit here till we intercept glide slope again. Oh my gosh, the winds are crazy. Yeah, it's 11 knot wind with gust 17 coming from 40 degrees. So it's coming from the right, like over here quite a bit. So we're going to have a pretty strong crosswind from the right. And we'll see how this goes. So if we want to do crosswind landing, be right wing down, left rudder. Right main touches down, firm touchdown. Reporting runway in sight, there it is. There's left, center, right. We're landing in the center, but we're going to use our gauges though, even though we reported runway in sight. Keeping our speed up. We do need 2 more sets of flaps eventually. In fact, we should probably get another set up now. And this is floating all over the place. Come on. Come down to the glide slope, please. Bring throttles back so it descends. Look at this wind. If we even land on the runway, I'm going to be happy. I don't care what happens other than that. It says we're too high, but I'm not terribly worried about it. More throttle, please. Final set of flaps, gears down, everything's ready to go. It's just watching our speed. Holy moly, rock and rolly. This is crazy difficult. It looks smooth, I know, but it's very difficult. Should we see if the glide slope will take over? It says glide slope. Let's see what it does. Will it work for us? I think it's going to do it. Is it doing it? No, it's not doing anything. Alright, everything is where it's supposed to be. On the glide slope, at the outer marker, lined up to the runway. Not bad considering this weather is ridiculous. Get some throttle back in there now to stay on the glide slope though. Holy cow. Okay. This is really crazy, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. But this is the type of thing where the approach and landing feels like it takes longer than the flight itself. There we go. Let's level off a little bit using throttle until we catch that glide slope again. This is a lot of hand flying for an approach and I love it. Alright, we're lined up with the runway. For some reason, that's not the huge problem. It's staying on glide slope, even though the wind is side to side. Maybe we're having updrafts, I don't know. But, like I said, as long as you land on a runway, I really don't care at this point how good or bad the landing itself is. Because this is really crazy. And now weather changes constantly. This weather is changing every 15 seconds, I swear. Alright, let's get back on glide slope here. It says 2 and 2 on the PAPI, but it says we're too high on the glide slope, so let's bring back throttle so we descend. Now we're at 3 and 1 on the PAPI, but I should be using my gauges. So to review the advice I was given on how to land this thing, we do not land with throttles at idle like a GA aircraft. We actually keep quite a bit of throttle engaged. And then when the call out is 20 and then down to 10, we let the throttle back and let it land itself. In theory. We will see how this goes, especially because you have this crazy crosswind and all these gusts that it is definitely interpreting. Look at this. Wow. Look at that crosswind from the right. That's crazy. Okay. I'm constantly moving things, constantly doing the throttle. I'm going to go sterile and see if we can land on something that's not grass or a house. Keep that nose wheel up as long as possible and letting it down gently. There we go. We landed way left. Keep that nose wheel down. There. Nose wheel is down. There we go. Reverses because we can, even though we don't need them. Release auto brakes. So we were lined up in the center, but then I executed the crosswind landing component with the right wing down, but left rudder. The left rudder sent us to the left because I didn't get enough right wing, but it really doesn't matter. We landed smoothly. We didn't bounce. I don't think we bounced. Maybe we did a little. I don't know. We will review the replay of that landing because that was crazy. That was so difficult. So whatever looked like on camera, increased the difficulty by 1,000, and that's what that was like. That was nuts. All right, let's just stop here because we don't want to touch anything because our replay will screw stuff up. So let's stop right here and set the parking brake, and let's see what this landing actually looked like. So here we are coming in. The spoilers are up because that's a replay bug. I did not have my spoilers up when we landed. In fact, I thought that was fixed in the latest update, but it's not. It's half fixed. Anyway, so I did not have my spoilers out. You can see the crosswind though. Look at that crazy crosswind. And you can see how we're wobbling everywhere. I'm just curious if we bounced. Oh, look, there's Charlotte in the background. How beautiful. Downtown. That's a big skyline. Anyway, so let's see what really happened. So we softened the descent just to keep it soft. And this is my MO to keep floating along. Let's see what really happened. There we go. We did bounce. See, there's my right wing down left rudder thing for the crosswind. But we bounced the left main. And then we just slowly rode out the nose wheel. So yeah, that came a lot better. But I really wanted to go for the crosswind part. Oh well, let's do the runway view next. So here we are coming in. That is a really crazy crosswind though. Look at that, plus the gusts. Wow. That was so difficult. So much fun, but so difficult at the same time. So let's see here. We come down. I start to compensate for the crosswind there. See right wing down, but more rudder than wing though. And that's why we went that way. And we bounced the left main. Weird. That would not have felt very good, but it was better than landing on the house. Let's do the tower view. Alright, get the binoculars out. We have a non-licensed pilot trying to land at an airport. All the runways and taxiways are clear. EMS is ready to go just in case. And, yeah. Lots of things wrong with that, but that's okay. And here we go. And boom. Oh, jeez. Well, at least we didn't start on fire this time. Okie dokie, let's head back to real time and button this thing up. Alright, we're back. What is the time of the clock? It's about exactly an hour flight. Door to door, which is fine. Well, not door to door because there's taxi time, but runway to runway. Alright, landing lights off. Whoop. Off now. Keep the taxi lights on. We don't need the turn off lights in the daytime. This can be set to disarm. Flaps should be in already. No, flaps coming in now. Or did I get them in already? Let's see. Nope, I kept flaps out because of the replay. Flaps coming in. Spoilers in. Pressure switch from flight to ground. Where are you? And we're going to begin our taxi. Where are we going? I think we are going anywhere we can put an airplane. Right there in front of us. Simple. Parking brake off. Give it some juice. The juice is loose. And I'm going to taxi right over to the nearest gate just for convenience sake. Alright. Let's have a bird's eye view since we don't have a flag person to help us. Looks like we missed it a little bit here. I love that shadow. It's so gorgeous. Come around. Looks like we're stuck. A little bit more. My voice cracked. I'm not 14, I promise. Come on. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Alright, hop inside and stop. And set the parking brake. And what do we do now? All of the lights can come off. off, right? That can come off, that can come off, that can come off. We'll keep beacon on for a second. GPU and air cart, yes, so that we can, there we go. External power now. Should stay connected, fuel off. We did not use APU, too loud. So we just use external power once we get there. All right, let's see. All exterior lights can come off now except the logo light. Battery come off. Where are you? You're up here. Battery off, please. And seatbelt off. And we can turn off anything we want to now. We can turn off everything. We can come up here, do whatever. Come back here, do whatever you want. But that's all we have to do. Let's come outside and let's have a look. Welcome to Charlotte. We will continue this trip from Charlotte somewhere else in the 727 at some point when I have the time to plan and do it. But I got a lot to do. I'm going to plan some more flights with smaller aircraft. I'm going to figure out why these clouds are just slaughtering my frame rates when I'm not used to this. This is not how I'm used to SkyMaxx operating and affecting my sim. But anyway, enough back of the house stuff for me. Hopefully you enjoyed the flight, and I will see you next time.